the challenges that I face may be a little more obvious than what most people are dealing with, but I would never presume to say that they're any harder or any more difficult than what anybody else is dealing with. My main goal in my life has always just been to not let the challenges that I face define who I am as a person.
Arriving at Sunday's triathlon, he was ready to test more than a month's worth of training.
I often need to take a different approach to certain things and think outside the box a little bit now and then. But the end result is that I have had a lot of great life experiences and I've led a very full life.
With that, Team 334 swimming competitor was on his way to the starting line.
My fraternity, Delta Chi, we got chosen to help a group of girls at an all-girls school with their haunted house for that year. And we got a chainsaw and a hockey mask for one of my fraternity brothers. And we would crouch outside the door of the room and wait for people to come in. And when they came into the room, I would lunge into the room screaming and shrieking and flopping around like a fish on the floor. And my fraternity brother would come walking in behind me, revving up this chainsaw and laughing maniacally. The funny part is I'm not sure who had more fun that night, me or the guy with the chainsaw. That guy was messed up too. He had a blast. We had people coming back going, "Dude, how'd you do that?" I don't know, you'll have to ask my mom.
Like the walls of Craig's City Law Department office show his path through Duquesne and then Pitt's Law School.
All through law school, I had gotten extra time on my exams, just mainly because the way I write is I hold the pen here between my shoulder and my chin and get kind of close to the paper, and I had issues with fatigue. So I would get extra time for my exams all through law school, and I surely could have petitioned the bar examiners for more time on the exam as well, but as I started thinking about it, I'm like, 2 days, do I really want to take a 2-day exam and make it 3 days? Is that really going to help me? So I decided to, against my parents' advice, I decided to give it a shot, take the exam once, just sit in the same situation as everybody else. And so I did that, and I spent 2.5 months studying my butt off and writing my chin off, I guess, working on my stamina, and I took the bar exam with everybody else, and I passed on the first time. So I didn't.
I was there on Sunday for the same reason that every single person was there on Sunday, to challenge myself and to prove something to myself. You overcome whatever you're faced with, you know, and that's all I think that I've done.
It's a story about a gentleman who was the sole survivor of a shipwreck, and he washed up onto an uninhabited island, and he prayed feverishly each day for God to rescue him. And he'd search the horizon every morning and every afternoon and every evening for help, but he never saw any coming. And so eventually he was able to build himself a hut out of driftwood and palms to protect himself from the elements and store his few meager possessions. And one day when he was out scavenging for food, he came home to find his little hut in flames with smoke rolling up to the sky. And the man was devastated. He thought the worst had happened. And he cried out, "God, how could you do this to me?" The next day, the man was awakened in the morning by the sound of a ship pulling up to the shore. They were there to rescue him. And he was amazed and astounded, and he said to his rescuers, he said, "How did you know I was here?" And they told him, "We saw your smoke signal." Now, the reason I tell you this story is to illustrate the biggest tool that I've had in my life and the biggest tool that I've had in defining my own potential. And that is a strong faith in God, and that God has a plan for everyone. And my mom always told me that, my mom always tells me that everything happens for a reason. So whenever bad things happen to me and my little hut seems to be burning to the ground, I try to keep faith in God's plan and keep faith that the burning hut might be providing a smoke signal for me to see things from a different perspective. Now, a lot of people would think that being born with out arms and legs would be just about the worst thing that could happen to a person, But I'm here to tell you that after living 35 years in this skin, that if I was to make the acquaintance of a genie tomorrow and he offered me the ability to start my life over with a brand new set of fully functioning arms and legs, but I would lose all my memories from this life, I'd tell him no thank you, because being the way that I am has led me to have some great experiences and meet some fantastic people that probably wouldn't have happened otherwise. And I wouldn't trade those acquaintances and I wouldn't trade those experiences for the world.